For today, I want to take you on a little journey, a little story. And the story involves a character. And the character I've created is non-specific. He's called Bob. Bob is an operator of assets, whether they be in the North Sea or anywhere else in the world, perhaps the Middle East, perhaps operating on land. But he's finding times are hard. You see his pockets are turned out, he's got a little bit of a glaze on his forehead. He's worried. Global markets are affecting him. He used to run very profitable industries. He used to run stuff in the wind, in the oil market sector. His assets are getting old. They've been around a while. And he's got a greater workforce that have to work for him. And they all want higher wages, better quality of life, etc., etc. So he's got a bit of a problem, he's got a bit of a headache in the 70s. There's Bob in the 70s. What do we know about the technology of the 70s? Well, it was shiny and new in the 70s, but the North Sea's had a hard life on it. It's rusty, it's crusty, it's not supported. The technology of the 70s wasn't really as advanced as it is today, was it? And the build quality, perhaps not as high as standards as we're used to now, with the ISO standards that we're putting into manufacturing, the quality standards and procedures, and the ability to be able to check construction to maintain quality. Bob was confused in the 70s. When it comes to now, operating technology, operating equipment, you're looking at applications of technology as simple as your mobile phone, as cost effective as your iPad. You're looking at higher technology base, you're looking at higher cost from maintenance offshore, and you're also looking at the effect of your asset as it approaches decommissioning time. And that's a nasty word in our book. We want to see life extension. We want to see that green curve on the presentation slide there. Wouldn't it be nice if you could extend the life of your assets, maybe even increase the productivity, the reliability, the effectiveness? Wouldn't it be nice if it was simple as applying it to your iPad or your mobile phone? Well, you need to adopt and engage with a company that understands the technology. Probably on systems. We have the skills and the knowledge of the older systems. We have records of old equipment. We have the backup of old technology. We have the skills that have taken years to develop operating in the offshore industry. We have the capability of integrating that old technology, that old equipment, into smarter thinking ways of developing and running that equipment. So we will design entire packages, software, hardware, configuration, implement it to work on the original old asset and operate it, working with the client to deliver a package that works in a modern methodology, using control systems remotely, remote control systems, using new standards and new equipment, whether that be in hazardous area or safe area, doesn't make any difference. We can offer that service. And then we can deliver it, commission it and install it, offshore, onshore, wherever the asset may be. We are specialists. We are knowledgeable. So, we can deliver asset monitoring systems, remote control. We can apply it to old technology, and we can integrate it to the latest in new technology. So how's Bob? Well, Bob is looking at the bigger picture. He's looking to integrate all of his processes and assets into one single place for control. He's looking to have control of that information in a management system that allows him to control and monitor for maintenance scheduling, so he can see what's happening with the equipment, he can monitor the effectiveness, the consumption of fuels, etc. back at the beach. He's looking at the simplicity of reducing his maintenance budget from an overhead. he's looking to reduce headcount offshore. It means that he can operate old equipment, old technology, old assets, but with the simplicity and cost effectiveness of new equipment running it. So a case in point, gas turbines is something that, again, for just this application, it could be a wind turbine, it could be any of the major large assets or machine or equipment out in the offshore industry. But turbines is something that we're going to go with because we have a little demonstration here. The technology is old, but the core engine, the core of the unit, is serviceable. If it's been maintained and looked after throughout its life, it will continue to provide active service for many years to come, but it's the control system that's obsolete. The control package and the interface to the monitoring of that equipment, to the operation of that equipment. And that's where we've come in on this next section. So what we've got is a live demonstration of a gas turbine, and we set it up outside. It's a specific engine. The engine is a 1974 engine, so it's 40 odd years old. It's never seen a computer, a PLC or anything. It's all green circuitry, it's all capacitors and resistors and stuff. Over the past 6 months, we've restored the engine and we've installed on it a large PLC control system. And you can see on the screen on your right there, we've also integrated with us brought with us to integrate a flame detector, video flame detector. And this highlights how technology has moved on to the fact that instead of relying upon passive detection, we can now have real-time video data providing flame coverage of an entity. The dark box in the middle there is in fact the turbine. It's not very big, not very much to look at, but in a few minutes it will be. So on that system, a bit of description about it. We've got a Siemens-based PLC controller on it. Other brands are available. It could have been a Rockwell, could have been others, but we chose Siemens. And that system I'm going to control just as Bob dreamt of from my iPad. At the moment, I can see on this screen what you can see on that screen. That's the video flame detection system. And I can see that the chaps out there are wondering and standing around it and looking at it. But you'll watch those guys. They are not going to be touching that engine. And what I'm going to be doing, if I'm all right to go ahead and do so, I'm going to start that engine up and run it for a few minutes, and I'm going to show you, take you through some of the remote control features that you can now have. Now imagine that engine's offshore, but I'm in a control room, nice warm cosy control room. I can have that information fed to me directly. So, that is what I see on my iPad. That is the control station. Okay, it's very simplistic, but it's exactly what was on the original analog control system that was taken out. And what I'm going to do is go through a start sequence. Outside, you will have flashing lights and sirens for health and safety reasons to keep people away and so on and so forth. And then I'll switch between the video feed and this so you can see it happen. So, I guess we're ready to go. I'm going to start the firing up sequence. What I'm going to do, I'll press the green button. If I go back to the video, we should see, here it comes. I think you can probably hear the siren going outside, yeah? The guys are standing back, so it's now bleeping its sirens, and it should start the crank up process. Let's go back to the control. And it's lit, as you can hear. So we look there, we've got the temperature in the exhaust. It's gone a bit high, it'll creep down. It's obviously there's flame in the exhaust, which hopefully someone's just filmed. We see the engine speed coming up to 15,000 RPM. And then it's reached steady state. So from my control system, I now have the ability to monitor all of the aspects of the engine just as they have in the control room. So the sequence for engine start, I have warm, idle, run, ignition, etc. I can go through. I can look at the temperature of the exhaust, I can look at the engine speed, I can look at the governor position and what position it is during the voting of the different fuel valves on the engine. Should come up on the screen as well. Okay, I can look at the inputs and outputs that are on the control system, at what stage through the cycle it is, whether I've got an alarm, a low pressure oil alarm or something like that, or generation issue. And that can be represented in any different ways. This actually shows the sort of main layout of the turbine with the intake to the left and the various valve positions. This particular engine is designed to start with a jet engine, so it provides outputs. If I take it back to the main screen, we can see that it's running. If you can't hear it well, then it is quite something to see. I'll go back to the camera just to see that it's not on fire. There you go. They are standing watching it. I'll refresh that just to make sure they haven't gone in the... Oh, they are still standing in the same place there then. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut it down. So if I go through the shutdown sequence, we'll see that it will go through a full sequence of shutdown. You can see this on the screen there, it's going through the cool downs, and there's a timer there which gives you a countdown to when it will shut down the fuel and go through the shutdown sequence. You can hear the engine rev start to die away. There you go. Refresh that. Just make sure the guys aren't negative. There you go. So, what I've demonstrated there is you can take any amount of old equipment. You can take old infrastructure, 40 years old. The core engine in itself is fine. You can go out and have a look at it later if you wish. I'm more than happy to when it's not running. And we've applied a PLC-based control system to it, which is fine. That's an easy installation. It's a control module. But we've taken it to the next level. We've added interrogation and telemetry, and then we've taken it further still by adding wireless control back to maybe beach or back to your operations room, where the operator can control it from his mobile device, from his workstation. He can monitor the serviceability and maintenance of that engine, coordinate when he needs to go out and send staff out there to change oil, to refuel or whatever. This technology is available. We can design it for any application. And if you'd like to come and see us, we do have a stand here, stand 33 at the top there, and have a chat. But please do come and see us on our stand, or come and see me after the show, and we can discuss how we can help you. Thank you very much for your attention today. Thank you.